Welcome acolytes. Today I am reacting to one of Arch's actual videos, namely gamers reject modern games for the old, developers need to learn to build fan bases again. And at the end of the day, this in itself is already extremely on point, no doubt about it, really freaking exact saying as it is. But what does he actually mean with it? Are there any extra points of it? Can I actually add anything of worth to it? Probably not. Probably yes. Maybe not. But you know it. I know it. Let's just see what he has to say about it and just start. Yeah, I'm low energy today, by the way, sorry. But if you're going to like...
Just 66 titles saw 80% of the playtime in 2023.
And I instantly believed that. Why? Because, to be blunt, most of the new stuff is just shit. And yes, you might say... you might say, hey, there are good games. Yes, there are good games. But it's literally a handful. There aren't a lot of freaking games that are actually worth your time. Let's just say the new F-up from a freaking nice little game that is called How, because I think everybody of you knows what I'm talking about. And the people who don't, I actually... I wanna say, yeah, you happy one. It's Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is such balls that it's just this. Oh my god! I mean, is there anything else? Like, I'm not gonna repeat every single bad game that actually. Let's just say everything that EA just put out at the end of the day. And yes, there are good games. In fact, I'm actually playing one of the good games that came out. And one of the good games is Dragon Dogma. And even that still had some actual drama around it because, well, Capcom made a really greedy decision that I don't like, but I don't really care about it because the game itself is very good. So yeah, there are some. Helldivers is also a good game, but most games, really most games, like Fortnite, like freaking Doom is also very strongly played until this day. Battletoads is very... well, no, not Battletoads. I mean, all the freaking very old games out. It's just outstanding to me how many old games there are most of the times played that just gets stuff done. And I don't think it's because of nostalgia. I think most people are actually quite sick of being milked, but they still do it because they think they have actually no choice. So, yeah, I'm rambling for nothing right now and still, let's just continue.
Most of them being old, quotation mark, games like Fortnite or Grand Theft Auto 5. Well, I mean, by the definition, yes, that is true. See, I've been seeing this statement being bandied around a little bit as if it is an indication that the good old days were simply so much better than they are today. But the good old days, well, in this case, the good old days are still pretty much the bad current year days, in my opinion. And the whole thing in and of itself is hardly that groundbreaking, as, hell, we had reports from 2022 as well, basically stating the same thing. As it turns out that a game literally designed to be played forever, Fortnite, is being played.
Yeah, funny how this works. If you actually make a good designed game that's supposed to be played forever, and it's actually get played forever. Funny how this works if you actually have a good game, doesn't it? Doesn't it, mates? And I'm gonna be honest, I mean, a lot of you, or me included, I'm not excluding myself with it, there are a lot of bad games that you actually never seen and they are already dead. So, yes, just a lot of those games die and it's fine.
forever. I know. Shocker. But what I think is more important and interesting to point out about this entire survey here, which basically suggests that most of the games played are simply quite old. On PC, 9.6 years. On PlayStation, 7.4. Xbox, 7.2, with only the Nintendo Switch having a 3.9. Now, a 4-year period is hardly a blink of an eye, but considering the average development time of video games, a 4-year period of domination by certain titles makes a lot of sense, really.
Yeah. And by the way, it's not even hard. If you just do a good game, people will stay with it. It's not even a question, in my opinion. A lot of people just pick their games, they just stay with them, and they just play them for basically fun. And that's just all.
We also got Zelda, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Bros. Wonders, Mario Kart 8. Like, these aren't, Fortnite-style games. Or Grand Theft Auto, which has also kind of become a Fortnite game. Or Minecraft, Though, there aren't a whole lot of, strictly speaking, single-player games on the list. Starfield. I don't know how the hell Starfield got on this list at all, honestly.
Yeah, I'm really surprised, because even a friend of mine, a freaking diehard guy for things like this, he just said, yeah, Starfield is shit. How the F is it? I think the list is just extremely biased. This could be... Yeah, because I think it just excludes indie games. Is Helldivers on it? Well, Helldivers isn't directly an indie game now, is it? Well, I mean, it's too new to actually even... Would it be too new? Yeah. Maybe there is a bit of bias in it, but I think that there should be some indie games in it, but I also don't really know every single one, or the real... I think things. The Sims, what the frick, damn.
There's gotta be a lot of very weird people out there, that's all I can really say, in Hogwarts Legacy. I think, if anything, the most important takeaways from this thing is two. One, it completely and utterly disproves the Warner Bros. Statement we saw a few weeks ago that, the video game industry is crashing because it's just so darn unreliable. We just can't tell what's gonna be popular. It's so volatile, you understand. No.
Volatile? You literally have guys like me, and I agree with him. He said no, he's gonna say his mind to it, I'm gonna say my mind. If you have a game you like, you're gonna play it always. Overlord, for me. So, just saying, not the youngest game you could have. And still, I will play it. So, nah.
No, not at all. The video game industry is not particularly volatile in the slightest. In fact, its primary problem appears to be that it's unfathomably sedentary. Again,
correct.
Fortnite is hardly a spring chicken at this point, and it itself was basically just a last-minute deviation to try and get on the, what's that game called? The shooter game that started all of this survival shootery thing, God help me, I don't even know now.
Battleground?
This particular genre is zero.
PUBG. I think he means PUBG.
Yep, no, still can't remember. Anywho, and Minecraft, which is older still. Like, Minecraft was a topic when I was in school, goddammit. Like, clearly here, the industry isn't particularly... The Sims, goddamn you. The Sims as a franchise is ancient. League of Legends, God help me. Actually, no. The video game industry is not very volatile. It's rather sedentary. And what...
Yes. I'm gonna use a different argument. If you play, let's say, League of Legends, as he said right now, you invested a lot of time in it, you played it, you're probably still not good in it, but all the skins, all the runes, all the characters you actually worked for just to have them, will you just leave it behind? Well, I doubt it. I really doubt it. The one freaking Zed, will you leave Zed behind? Will you just drop him and never see him again? Yeah, probably not. you still want to play Z.
Becomes hits is actually fairly easy to predict because the majority of the market right now are casuals. And here's the problem though. The casuals are also creatures of habit. This makes it very difficult for new...
I like how he said the casuals, because at the end, the casuals is a creature. Yes, that casual gamers exist. By the way, I am one of them. It's not even that close. But in the end of the day, you don't have to be good in every single game you do. I mean, for fuck's sake, I'm just playing Dragon Dogma and how's it called? I'm just gonna say Ich pimmle rum. I'm just having fun. It's that simple. And casual, but I think he means the casuals that actually don't give a fuck what they are actually doing. Because even though I see myself as a casual, I actually try to do stuff the correct way. Because see, I found a nice little combo with... well, it's a pretty obvious combo with... Good, perfect. Wait. Can I... Oh, come on! Good. Then you go here, make the Skull Splitter, hits, it just does a lot of damage, so I just like finding out combos like this. And this is casual for me, because I could go out and just, well, look up a guide how to do the maximum damage, but no. A combination of Precid Flare and Skull Splitter is pretty freaking OP. I'm still not gonna use it because as soon as as the levels are up, I'm gonna play it pure sorcerer. So let's just continue. And you can see I have F up in there. Irrelevant. I'm an old guy. That's fine.
New contenders to get into this field.
And I see myself as a casual. Also as a casual, 9 out of 10 times I just don't actually give a fuck. And if I give a fuck, then I'm actually playing quite well. Still not like freaking pro player out of my world, and I'm just basically too old for that. But I'm still better than freaking, I would say 80% of people on this playing, especially young people that basically have potential, but they don't use this potential, so F them.
It is very difficult for an outside company to try and create Fortnite because, well, Fortnite already exists.
Yeah.
And thus, nobody is going to switch over from Fortnite to your alternative unless your alternative is absolutely mind-blowingly amazing, or somehow manages to tickle the pickle of the casual audience even more so. And this can happen on occasion with Call of Duty, for example, which I do believe was, there you go, Call of Duty Modern Warfare there. Because Call of Duty was once actually the outlier. It was the competitor to Medal of Honor, which was the largest shooter, multiplayer kind of thing, right?
Oh, Medal of Honor. Oh, such an old game. I basically never played it, but I watched my friends play it if they wanted to play shooters. I never had that much of an interest in shooters, so there's that. But Medal of Honor was... actually looked quite... I mean, it is fun because I don't hear anything negative about it. I don't hear Medal of Honor was shit. I hear a lot of good things about it, so... Oh, did I get 2 majors? Well, that was a mistake. But yeah, it is what it is.
And then Call of Duty came up from behind it, appealed better to the audience and to a wider, more casual audience as well. And now, Medal of Honor, hell, most people probably don't even remember that it was a franchise. So it is possible, but it depends primarily upon your ability to debase yourself yet further. As the wider market, as we often call it, right, is real to a degree. I like to call it, the illusion of the wider market, or the mystical wider market, because for the majority of titles, it is a false mirage in the desert. To Total War, for example, the wider market is absolutely a big fat lie, because you're not...
Yes, of course. It is a big fat lie, and it's simply because it's a very specific game, it's a very niche game. Now, why is it a niche game? Well, because it's a strategy game, first of all. And that's actually something that not a lot of people like. And with a lot of people, I mean like really, really mainstream people. Most of them just I mean, for F's sake, they don't, most people don't even want to try to aim in freaking Call of Duty and just go in, freaking shoot like worse than me, and go, yeah, I just want to have fun with this. And I'm like, it's a competitive effing game. If you don't have if you don't have any fun with it competitively, then go and play solo player, for F's sake. But don't go multiplayer. Or what else could I say? Oh, I actually lost my train of thought. For Honor, same thing. Just if you just try and do your best, and it's fine. But yeah.
Total War game. You will never be.
Yes. I lost totally. For Honor, it doesn't have the same numbers as Call of Duty because it's a very niche game. Not everybody likes it. Or how did it call it? The game shut down not too long ago. It was the game where you had the knights and permadeath, and you have to siege survival. I think. Wait, give me a second here. What is this? But I'm gonna look it up. Give me a second, please, because I think I can stand my point here. Liberate siege survivor. Siege. Gloria Victis. Extremely niche game. And I mean extremely niche. You cannot expect that you will get a lot of people or a giant majority of casual players to actually play Gloria Victis. This just won't happen. It's a niche game. So actually appealing to a wider audience just won't work. So that's a myth. But the more casual games that just can be like Call of Duty, like I don't know what else, like most handy games, like League of Legends. It's casual. It's just more casual friendly because it doesn't have any elements that would be that hardcore that you just automatically exclude a lot of people. But just like with Gloria Victis, you will exclude a lot of people, and that's fine, by the way. Maybe you won't make your freaking millions, but you will make more than enough to actually survive, or you even make a good amount of money on it. So yeah, but it's basically the thing of what can I offer and what do I expect, what will I get.
Fortnite, no matter how hard you try to appeal to the lowest common denominator, you will never ever reach them because they're gonna look at you, a strategy game, huff, spit on you, and get back to playing Call of Duty.
Correct.
For these games, success is more easily achieved. All you really need to do is go for your core audience, which is what Nintendo proves again and again and again and again. Why do we have 8 Mario Kart games? Now, bear you in mind, I don't know much about Mario Kart, so perhaps I'm wildly mistaken here, but I do believe that the core gameplay loop of Mario Kart has remained largely unchanged since number 1.
Yes.
Why then?
And you know why? Because it works.
Are there 8 of them? Why are we still making Zelda games? Why are we still making Super Mario Brothers games? Because you have a thing, it has an audience, and you simply keep feeding that audience what it wants year after year after year. That is how you build a franchise. Too many developers today are trying to become Fortnite, just overnight, just like that. Oh hey, we're an enormous success. You're not going to be. The odds of you being the next blow-up success are about 0.0000000 ad infinitum 0.1%, especially in a market already oversaturated with the next big things. Unless you actually do come up with a completely different next big thing, you're not going to be competing with the already entrenched opposition. I thought we would have learned this lesson via World of Warcraft and the MMO boom, where 98% of those games failed miserably, but
Oh, yeah. Poor Wildstar. Oh. I still miss Wildstar. Wildstar was such a good idea. But, well, at last, it just failed at the end. At the end, it had no chance. Because, well, World of Warcraft existed at that time. And they made also the freaking mistake of actually wanting to go for a casual audience, but for a gigantic audience, to a bit more precise. And it just wasn't. Wildstar was for a hardcore audience, and you just won't get the numbers out of a hardcore audience. That's just it. Not a lot of people like hardcore. And you might say hardcore, but it's Lich. Dark Souls is hardcore. No, Dark Souls is pretty easy if you know what you're doing. It's not that difficult. Don't get me wrong, it's difficult. But it's not Gloria Victus difficult. And it's still difficult, and I love every freaking Souls games that I actually played, or most of them. I actually didn't like some particular things, but those are things I'm gonna tell on my gaming channel, not here exactly. But okay.
But it is the video game industry, and its ability to absorb wisdom and or lessons is equal to that of a brain-damaged goldfish submerged in a tank currently engulfed in electricity and or mustard gas. Can mustard gas penetrate water? Anyways, you get the general drift. You need to create the audience. See, Total War didn't become big overnight either. It built an audience slowly but surely over time by perfecting the formula. The grand strategy in general is a fantastic example of what new developers need to be aiming for. You need to be aiming for the paradox model. Now, paradox has gone to hell in a handbasket in and of itself, but the basic idea is still build an audience, build a niche, and then construct. And you are not even giving up the possibility of becoming a blow-up success by doing so. Crusader Kings 3, years after its release, became a blow-up success. Helldivers 2, the perfect example. Nobody played Helldivers 1. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying, right? And then Helldivers 2 arrived, and boom! Everywhere. It's now one of the biggest games, and when this list comes out for, 2024, etc., it's probably going to be on it. It's probably going to be competing with Fortnite, actually. You've got to construct franchises, video game developers. You cannot go for one-and-dump games anymore, because the market of hits is probably dead. And this does suck to a certain degree, absolutely, because what I'm essentially saying is you've got to make, this is my franchise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that hardly encourages innovation in the gaming market. And I wish it wasn't so. I wish we could return to the days of, Company of Heroes and Dawn of War, where games would release and they would at least have something special about them, right? Company of Heroes, a revolution in the strategy game.
Dawn of War. Oh, my heart bleeds. They butchered it. Oh.
Market. Dawn of War 2, and 1 with the sync kill animations. The sync kill animations weren't anything particularly, revolutionary when you think about it. All it really is that units look cool when they kill each other, but at least it was something.
Yes, I agree. But it was fucking awesome. Like dudes freaking hacking, slaying each other, going in, freaking like, with their freaking chainsaws, running into a freaking fucking orc and just, you know.
Right? Especially compared to Dawn of War 3 or Company of Heroes, the new one, so on, so on. The key really is to find one thing to innovate.
Or when the freaking gigantic demon just took a freaking some dude and just, while the lassie just grabbed him, pulled him off, like squashed him and just drank the blood, if I remember it correctly. No, I remember it correctly, and it was just beautiful.
On one thing to advance further and then continue to building. Helldivers 2 could be used again as another excellent example of this. Helldivers 2, he doesn't reinvent the wheel in any real regards, it simply perfects the extraction shooter formula and adds in a couple of cool tidbits here and there, like for example the mini rhythm game almost, where you use your arrow keys to call in call-ins, for example. Call-ins, well I suppose it's technically correct. That was a brilliant idea, because it adds in a tremendous amount of stress to the act of calling an artillery barrage, particularly if you're getting pelted by laser fire as you're doing it. So please, video game developers, stop trying to be Fortnite. You will never be Fortnite. Now you could potentially eventually become a Fortnite-esque thing if you build on it. And this goes out specifically to Warner Brothers as well. The volatility of the franchise. The franchise is set in goddamn stone. It is simply that you are trying to compete with stone on being hard. And thus, unless you happen to be a diamond, you're probably going to lose out. Especially when you have a tremendous amount of potential IP power like Warner Brothers. What you need to try to do is be Mario Brothers rather than Fortnite. And this goes out to all of the smaller developers as well. If you're making a game, make it for your audience first. Once you've constructed a base, then you can build on that base. And once you have a loyal fan base, they will almost never ever abandon you, even if you repeatedly and consistently abuse the shit out of them.
Blizzard.
Which again, Total War has so and thoroughly proved. Oh, God help me, Total War. It used to be a great franchise. Used to be. And though, even then, you can only beat a dog for so long until it starts biting you back, I suppose. As I've been playing the Lord of the Rings mod for Medieval 2 quite a lot recently, and whilst it is definitely designed for people who have played a lot more Medieval 2 recently than I have, and thus certainly has some mildly unfair elements to it. Just the act of playing Medieval 2 again is incredibly zen. Like, the game just feels so much better. The pacing of it, the interface, all of it just, it's like coming home. It's a warm bath after the trials and tribulations of modern day Total War and Pharaoh.
Yeah.
I guess even...
And by the way, I agree with him, but I still enjoy Total War Warhammer 3. So, yeah, you know. You can agree with someone, but also disagree. Agree to disagree after agreeing to disagree. So yeah, there's that. Wait, did I just...
Building the franchise can go wrong on occasion if you forget about your actual audience. But still, that, in my opinion, is the takeaway of this. Don't try to be Fortnite. Try to be, if anything, Medieval 2. Yes. Or Grand Strategy in general. 9.6 years, eh? Honestly, I was hoping for it to be more on PC. Do let me know what you think there in the comment section below, as well, as this is an interesting little topic. But when it actually comes to like the oldness of it, that in and of itself is kind of a non sequitur in my opinion, because of course game design, again, to be played forever, will be played forever. Not to mention, when you are looking at top played games as well over a year, unless you are looking at the flash in the pans, the miracles like Helldivers 2, you're unlikely going to be dethroning anything like Fortnite. Until next time, I have been Arch.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much for watching, and I do hope to see you.
Yeah, I agree with a lot with him. A lot. But yeah, in the end of the day, we will see how it actually concludes. And I hope we actually get really good games in a lot more often. Because in the end of the day, it's just... I just want good games. I do not care as much about about the politics behind it. I just want good games. And good games, like these days, if you make your games political, it is a bad thing because, well, most political things are shit. So there's that. Well, it is what it is. But as it is, acolytes, good night. Oops.